Shalom, this is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries. It is the 7th day of Sukkot. Tonight, Wednesday night, October 11th, actually begins the 8th day, known as the last great day. The 8th day of Sukkot is a commanded high Shabbat. You're not to do any work, not make anyone else work. It is a high Sabbath. You're to gather. It's a gathering time, to gather with like-minded believers. The 8th day is actually the grand jewel, the crown jewel of all the 7 main annual feast days. Because for 7 days we're in our sukkahs, and on the 8th day we come out of our temporary dwelling places and we come into the permanency that is foreshadowed in the new heavens and new earth, the 8th millennium, which is beyond the 7th millennium. I just wanted to point out that on the first day of Sukkot, which happened last week, NASA confirmed that what looked like a star exploding over China occurred. It wasn't a star, of course. It was like some sort of meteorite or something. Anyway, it was photographed by many people in China, but it literally happened last week as the first day of Sukkot was beginning. And what's amazing is that on the 8th day, remember the 1st and 8th day are both high Shabbats according to Leviticus 23. On the 8th day, which starts tonight, there is a asteroid that it actually orbited the Earth back in 2012, and it's actually flying by very close to Earth. It's either tonight or tomorrow, but it's sometime during the 8th day, which is really fascinating because this asteroid is getting so close. It's actually going to be between the moon and the Earth, but it's so close that it's literally the distance from Los Angeles to London is the distance, which is really close when you talk about astronomy. In fact, the asteroid is going to be flying so close to Earth, it's even going to be closer than the one that flew over Russia back in February of 2013. The one that exploded in the atmosphere and it caused all that damage. But NASA is really fascinated because they're going to actually be able to use their telescopes to really capture basically one of the closest asteroids that's ever passed near Earth, at least in modern times. So it's just fascinating that that's happening right on the 8th day, because it's almost like Yah put a sign in the heavens to mark out the first day and the last day of Sukkot, again, as a reminder, a sign in the heavens that, hey, these commanded feast days are for today. We're still supposed to keep them. They haven't passed away. Jesus didn't nail them to the cross. Paul was very clear in Colossians that these feast days are a shadow of things to come. And he wrote that letter many, many years after the resurrection. So these feast days are still important. This is a commanded high Shabbat starting tonight, so you're not to do any work. It's a Sabbath day. It's just like a regular weekly Shabbat that would happen on a Friday night to Saturday, except it's on a Wednesday night to Thursday night. So I encourage all of you, take the day off. Do not go to work. It's a Shabbat. Don't make anyone else work, and prepare for it today. It's a preparation day today. And also gather with like-minded believers. Now, for me, it's going to be difficult because I was thrown out of Cornerstone unjustly, so I have got to find another group of believers. And in fact, if I don't find anyone, I'm going to open up the internet and invite anyone who wants to meet me on Skype tonight to fellowship with me, so that I can at least have some sort of gathering. So I will publish my Skype address publicly, and anyone who has Skype can join me tonight. I'll let you guys know the times. It'll probably be 8 or 9 o'clock Pacific time, which I know is pretty late on the East Coast, but I'll put more details tonight. All right, shalom, happy 7th day of Sukkot. This is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries, website spiritandtorah.com.